Magic Mike's Last Dance out in theaters, the final part, hopefully, of the Magic Mike trilogy from director Steven Soderbergh, starring once again Channing Tatum, joined this time by Salma Hayek. It was a surprise for me to learn that they're making another one of those, but to be fair, I also didn't think that the second film was necessary. The original Magic Mike from 2012 was, I thought, a surprisingly competent drama disguised as a silly romp about strippers, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. The follow-up, Magic Mike XXL from 2015, was a significant departure from that and steered more towards a light-hearted, fun road trip vibe, with the stripping being much more of a primary selling point and a focus of the film. And I recognize that some people went to see it exactly for that, but I didn't like that direction so much. And now Last Dance for me is the weakest entry in the series because it doesn't correct that course. It still veers towards the stripping, but it also doesn't have as much charm and flair as the second one did. The story picks up several years after the previous film. Mike's furniture business isn't doing so well post-pandemic, so he's working a second job as a bartender at rich people's parties. And by the way, this 10-15 minute sequence at the beginning was probably my favorite part of the film. Seeing Tatum play Mike as a guy who is sort of down on his luck, but also has no regrets or shame whatsoever, and is just wonderfully confident about his past. That was really great, I thought. Anyway, the party host, Salma Hayek, finds out he used to be a stripper, and when everyone's gone, she offers to pay him a lot of money for one last private dance for her to sort of cheer her up. He obliges, and she's so enamored by him that she invites him with her to London, where she plans to sort of take revenge on her husband with whom she's divorcing. And she's planning to do that by allowing Mike to take over this historical theater and put on a performance that is meant to shock the British elites, because of course it's going to be a strip show. So it sounds like an interesting, if somewhat ridiculous premise, but there is a huge problem with the movie's structure, and it's that it decides to build everything up towards that final performance of the show that Mike designs, to have it be the one big sequence in the film. And yes, it somewhat succeeds because that sequence is entertaining. It's very well choreographed and performed by some impressively capable dancers, including Tatum himself, and it's kind of joyful and fun to watch. However, it's a problem because up until that final act, the movie can't really come up with anything else to fill the time that would be engaging in the meantime. As we watch Mike prepare the performance and deal with all the obstacles that come up, he also starts to learn more about Salma Hayek, and they're supposed to be falling in love, but I didn't really buy the chemistry between them. I didn't really buy their relationship, if I'm being honest. I think that the first and second act really drag as a result and feel kind of boring. The humor isn't particularly funny. The characters of the daughter and the butler feel like they haven't really been developed or explored to the full potential. The ex-husband is almost completely useless in the film, doesn't really do much. There's also a voiceover narration throughout the entire film, which I thought was completely useless and on the nose. And I typically don't like voiceover narrations. I find that you need a really good reason and execution to have one in the film, but this one was really bad. There's only really one quick moment in the second act which felt fun and reminded me of the previous movie's energy, and that is a dance sequence on the bus. But other than that, it just feels like we're just sort of waiting and waiting and waiting for the finale. And so again, I do think that finale is well done, but you have to ask yourself the question, does it justify sitting through an hour and a half of a movie, of rather unconvincing and mediocre movie, to get to the fun and energetic strip show at the end? Because I think not. I think it would have been a better idea to restructure the movie so we get some more dancing fun spread throughout the film. As it is, honestly, I think that the strip show is the only good part other than the very beginning. So perhaps it's a better idea to just go see a live strip show if that's what you're looking for.